wrap up, is how important is it to alternate your systems within a game? I know that you do it regularly, but yeah, obviously here and also in England, teams play with the same system for the whole match and don't change regularly. How important is that at the top level?
Um, it depends. Really depends on how the game's going. If you're comfortable, then you don't need to change. If you're winning, you don't need to change. Even if you're losing, depending on the score, maybe you don't need to change. It's very difficult to train multiple systems. As a coach, you're going to tend to go in and focus all your training on one system, whether that's defensively or in attack. So there's not enough time. Even now, we're training 7 times a week, obviously before lockdown. And when we start again, we're training 7 times a week, 5, 6 of them on the court. So even then, to implement our 3-1, well, we were more 4-0 to be honest. So our pivots weren't ready. To try and implement an attacking system, even with that amount of time we had training, it was difficult because if you're training, let's say 10 hours a week, you need to cover transition, you need to cover set pieces, you need to cover defense, you need to cover attack. Defense is probably the priority as well. So attack, maybe got 20% of the time. So in that 20%, you took about 2 hours a week to then try and do 4-0 and 3-1 within that system, within those 2 hours. It's going to be really quite tough. And a system like 4-0 is going to take months to perfect. This is where working on concepts. So if you're just working on plays between 2 players, 3 players, if you master that, then you can probably make a change to your system on the fly during a game if you need to. So, maybe you've trained 4-0 all the way through, but then you want a player to go, we needed to go 3-1, so you stick a pivot on. Maybe you haven't trained it, but hopefully if you've worked on concepts of playing the pivot and then making the cut, driving towards the goal, then maybe your players can use it. And the more intelligent players you've got, the more you can change. But during a game, sometimes you're going to need to change tactics because you're getting beat or getting dominated. But I think most of the changes will come from whether you attack whether you play between the lines or whether you make long runs, long puts, whether you attack certain players. So I think it's more slight changes rather than a full change from, okay, we're playing 3-1, now we're going to play 4-0. It's probably more a case of, okay, we're playing 3-1, but instead of staying on the right wing, I want you to go play central and try and receive the ball central. I think they're more the changes that we're going to have more success with during a game. And certainly with defence as well. Do you want to, okay, you're pressing, but maybe you're not getting any luck. Maybe the other team getting you on the counter attack. Can you then sit off for 5 minutes, sit deep, and let's play on counter attack for a little bit. I think defensively it's easier to change than attack. Almost you can change the whole system. In an ideal world as well, you're going to have two groups of players that could. So you could train one of them zone, you could train one of them man-to-man, you could train one of them 3-1, one of them 4-0. And then you could change it by changing the 4 players on the pitch without having to get the players on the pitch, tell them something different. And that could be a good way to do it. In an ideal world, you've got enough resources, enough coaches, enough time to have a group of players that plays 4-2 and a group that plays 3-1. And then you're laughing but even the top teams don't do that. Even the likes of Barca, maybe Barca do because they've got a couple of pivots and they do play 4-0 at times as well. So yeah, they do. But yeah, that's the ideal situation where you've got groups of players that can play different tactics, and then you can change it as often as you like or as you see fit.
Yeah, and I guess at a lower level here, probably what Damon's touching on there as well, guys, is that if you master one system, it's better than not mastering any of them. You're better off to work on one system and get it right, and then little tactical changes might be as simple as changing the style of player in that position as a starting point.